Now, we've gone into trust work a little bit at the last event in, where was that? Not in Claremore, but in Rochester, right? So we did touch upon trust a little bit in Rochester, and it's so paramount that our homes are in trust, or that our where we live are in a trust. And why is that so important? So I was doing trust work with one of my ones that I work with, and a really great guy. And the thing about trust is it's really hard. And even with, let's go back to the AORs and to the Belgiums, it's really hard to actually live the paperwork, right? The Why do we create the paperwork, though?
Well, I mean, Fourth Amendment right to stand on your documents and papers.
I get you. Yep. But what about from a spiritual side of, like, I'm gonna put my spiritual hat on a little bit, and why is it important to create paper documents? To me, and my understanding of paper documents, the reason being is that if it's just a thought in my head, it's something, right? But when you materialize things and you write them down, like this paper right here, I wrote $1 billion down. Okay. And why did I write $1 billion down? Because if you think about our monetary system and our Federal Reserve notes, we're writing down, or let's say the Federal Reserve is simply writing down,
I wrote them down.
they're writing down an arbitrary number on a piece of paper. So let's say these were Federal Reserve notes, and I just took them from the Federal Reserve. Now, in the laws of wrong and right, it's like it's so strange because it's all just created, right?
Yeah.
So that's why, like, a lot of these 1099Bs, maybe the 1098s, the 1099s, these forms are all how banks and other, let's say, entities create, and they just put something on a piece of paper and materialize it. Okay. But if I didn't write down 1 billion on this paper, okay, if I just wrote one, or if I just wrote, five, the world, when you're materializing something, it could be 5 apples, or it could be five something else. So the Federal Reserve is very specific when they're creating this money out of thin air, or this debt out of thin air. So as we're creating these instruments ourselves, we have to be very, very specific and do the research of what paperwork needs to be used and why. It's a very important factor in knowing what our paperwork says so that we can live it, right? So Bo, you're living that check right now. I'm living my paperwork right now. I live my paperwork every day, my AOR, a state national, not as I'm not on the citizens ship, not on their ship. I'm off their ship. I'll take ships certain places when I need to go somewhere. I took one this weekend. I took a nice ship with my car in the ship, and, well, not my car, but the car I was able to use at that time, because it's not mine, nothing is. And I was on a nice car on a ship, but again, I was able to get off of that ship as soon as my trip was done. And I feel the same way about my AOR, and I know internally what that document means to me. And it's the same way you are with the Constitution. You know the Constitution inside and out, right, Bo?
I don't inside.
Well, it's right behind you. You're
Yes.
you're constantly focused on it.
I,
But let's say
yeah, that's
osmosis, right? Well,
proximity.
yeah, because that's the thing about, like,
I
how
have,
do you say?
but I have not memorized. Correct.
Yeah, well, memorized is like something that they teach us in school as a task to, like, brainwash us. Hey, Lisa, I don't believe that it's actually the correct way to do things, because memorizing things is just like, For me, I can't do it. I can't recite Bible verses or anything like that. It doesn't come to me. But I know the intention and the intent. And I know the intent of my AOR, and I know the meaning and the reasons behind why I signed it and what it actually means to me so that I can live it. The same way with the Bible. And, I've condensed the Bible down to, 3 rules, and I consult with it when I need to for teaching, just like anything else. Like even like the AOR, we've condensed it down to American State National, do not detain, and I'm not on your citizenship, but ultimately that document speaks volumes. Okay, and the more you've customized it, the more you've made it yours, then you can really believe and live it, because that's what believe means, right? It means to be live, to actually be living in that actual experience, and a part of it. And that's really the difference in the creation of all these things we're creating here. So back to, let's say, the family side of things, where after Thanksgiving I was just taught a valuable lesson to you know sit around and help the family and discuss things. So again, anybody in the